If you have ever asked, what is an API, there is a good chance someone immediately dragged you into a restaurant. The waiter takes your order, the kitchen makes the food, and somehow now you are supposed to understand modern software. That metaphor is not wrong, it is just too small. It gets you through the front door, then leaves you standing in the lobby. So let's use it for about 3 seconds and move on. An API is a defined way for one piece of software to ask another piece of software for data or for an action. The important word is interface. A user interface is what people use: buttons, menus, search boxes, settings screens. An application programming interface is what software uses. It is the boundary where one program says, here is what you are allowed to ask me for, here is the exact way to ask, and here is what the answer will look like. That is the useful mental model, not food, boundaries, and rules. Imagine a simple weather app. It does not magically know the temperature everywhere. It needs to ask a weather service. So the app sends a request that means, give me the current weather for Detroit in Fahrenheit. The API defines where that request goes, what details are allowed, and what kind of answer comes back. In a web API, that request might look something like this: get weather/current, city equals Detroit, units equals imperial. The exact spelling is not the point. The shape is the point. Most beginner confusion comes from treating an API request like one blob of technical soup. It helps to break it into parts. The endpoint is where the request goes. The method is the kind of thing you are trying to do. A common one is get, which usually means fetch this information. Parameters are the details. Detroit, Fahrenheit, today, tomorrow, may be the format you want back. Headers can carry extra information, like what kind of response you accept or an authorization token. And some requests include a body, which is data you are sending to be created, updated, or processed. Then the service sends back a response. That response usually has a status code, which is the quick result signal. 200-ish means success. 400-ish usually means something about the request was wrong or not allowed. 500-ish usually means the server or service had a problem. Then there's the data itself. For many web APIs, that data is JSON, which is structured text that software can read without guessing. So the weather service might send back city, condition, temperature, and units. The app turns that structured answer into something friendly on your screen. APIs also have rules. Some APIs are public, some are private, some need an API key or another kind of login token. That key is often how the service knows which app is calling and whether it is allowed to call. And many APIs have rate limits, which means you can only make so many requests in a certain amount of time. That is not the API being moody. That is the service protecting itself from overload, abuse, or surprise bills. This is why API documentation matters. It tells you the available endpoints, the required details, the security rules, the limits, and what errors to expect. Here are the mistakes to avoid. An API is not the same thing as a website. A website is usually made for people and browsers. An API is made for software to request structured data or actions. An API is not the same thing as a database. The API might talk to a database behind the scenes, but the API is the controlled front door. And an API is not permission to do anything you can imagine. It only exposes what the service chooses to expose under the rules the service sets. That is why APIs are powerful, but also why they are wonderfully boring in the best possible way. Once you understand APIs, a lot of modern software gets less mysterious. Your automation tool calling a calendar service API, an AI coding assistant wiring your little app to a weather service, API, a website loading fresh data without reloading the whole page, often an API. So when you hear API, think defined request, defined response, defined rules. That is the boundary where software talks to software. And once you can see that boundary, you can understand a lot more of what your apps, automations, and AI tools are actually doing.